So I made it to Florida, and boy, am I in a crappy mood. It's not even funny. You know, you would think that coming home has its perks. Nah. There's so much miscalculation going on, it's not even funny. So where do I even begin? One of the biggest issues that I have to face as a traveler is the fact that I perpetually have to cross through multiple time zones. And as such, the point of daylight suddenly becomes a rather noticeable concern, especially as somebody who has to work for a living. Let's picture New Mexico, right? My work ends at 2, and I functionally have hours of like 2:30-ish through roughly about 7 to really do what I need to do. That's a lot of driving that could be accomplished by simply by driving, right? Somewhere across the United States, I've crossed the threshold where 2 o'clock suddenly became 3 o'clock. Okay, well, that's still doable. Somewhere between Alabama and Georgia, that 3 o'clock became 4 o'clock. And 4 o'clock is when I clock out from my work. And so, as you might expect, the whole point of driving suddenly becomes an issue, because now what you're doing is you're essentially driving from roughly about 4:30-ish or thereabouts, or at least in my case, you know, I've been skipping lunches, so I've been trying to make it like 4. So I start off at 4, and come 7, the sun is setting. Good luck trying to find a place to park. So right across the street over there, there's a sign, which was my by the way, I'm nowhere near where I'm supposed to be in terms of where I originally hoped to be. My goal was to be all the way by Ocala. I am nowhere near that. It's not honestly. So I crossed south of Highway 10, in Interstate 10, the same exact 10 that I took to get to the west. And somewhere south of there, there's an exit. I have no idea what exit that is, but I had to pull a plug on the whole driving operation, because I know for a fact that if you arrive somewhere beyond a certain point, you're not going to be able to find the spot. So one thing that really stood out to me is, as I navigated off the highway, you know, I naturally moved to Love's, which is, I would say, probably my preferred boondocking location. There's a whole bunch of truckers fighting over absence of parking spaces. There's just like not one, and there's about 20 or 30 truckers just circling like sharks trying to find a place. I very quickly got the hell out of Dodge, because some of the more antsy ones began basically doing a 360-degree turn in the middle of everything, and people started getting out of trucks, and tones and voices started being raised, and I said, that's it. I made my way out of there through a gas station for truckers, and made it across the highway over to travel something, TA, whatever that stands for. Mercifully for me, TA is not yet full. So a lot of the drivers that I've seen over there are actually, as I'm looking in the back, have circled multiple times at Love's and actually making their way here. Parking here is absolutely atrocious. Because of how everything is lined up, you basically have to go, like, unless you've been here before, you basically have to go against the line of traffic, at least counterintuitively. But now that I'm been here and actually see it from, but even then, like, see this guy over there? He's been trying to park for as long as I've been trying to talk. It's the weirdest thing. Like, when you pull in, it's counterintuitive because normally, you know, they're like perpendicular. Here everything is diagonal, which you would think would be an easier thing, but when you pull through like there, you immediately begin on the opposite side of where you need to be. So most truckers go around, whatever. You know what? I was able to find myself a spot. I'll take that as a small victory. But I am kind of crabby because in order for me to make headway to come home, I actually have to be making headway to come home. So today, instead of driving 250 miles, I found myself driving only 154, which is a big issue because it's an extra 100. So basically what that means is that tomorrow there's gonna be no way, absolutely no way I'm gonna be able to come home. So we're shooting for Wednesday now. Yep. Alright. Off to see what's out here.